Good morning. Good morning. Accidentally started the live stream a little early, but all good. So, the only ticker I'm in right now is BDSX. Now that we are testing. BDSX. Uh-oh, now we're breaking highs, so I might stop out of it actually. Let's see what it does here at $8. Let's see. Wow, it might actually fell up here. Good morning. Yeah, I accidentally started the live stream early today, so we just roll with it. But I am in BDSX. I was waiting for an entry. Wow, this thing is falling back down. That's crazy. But anyways, yeah, in this one, let's see if it holds the 200. It busted through it, but it came back and looks like it might. Oh my gosh, what a this. I thought I was about to have to stop out of this one, and it ended up giving it all back. Wow. So I'm basically only in some runners now after that move. But let's see if it fails at 7 o'clock. But yeah, no, I was I knew not to get back in at VWAP because the news is decent earnings. So I decided to wait here, but then whenever it made that move right there, I got a little spooked there for a second. So trimmed out of most everything I got in for this I've already played it 3 times, but for the second time, I'm basically out of most of my position now, just in case. Because if it starts breaking the 200 and holding, I'm not, oh my gosh, now I'm in the money. That was a wild chain of events right there, to be honest. Yeah, this candle looks like it's going to close under the 200. But anyways, good morning, good morning. Accidentally clicked the start stream button a little early, but all good there. Not financial advice, educational purposes only. Thank you, good Lord, for a new day to trade. And my voice probably sounds a little weird because I was at the Bills Jags game yesterday, and I think I screamed too much. But I'm still in a few shares on this one, not much. Just in case it fades at 7. If it tries to break over 8 again, I'll probably cut. But I'm only in 400 shares right now. We'll see if we get any new PRs as well. Yeah, I don't like this play as much since it made that move, but I do like that it's still struggling to hold above the 200. Daily, I mean, nothing too significant I saw on it, but and this one I think is about a 3 million float. Yeah, 3.7 million is what I'm seeing. So if it starts ripping here at 7, I'm just going to stop out. But played it twice and made some profit on it. And it looks like I might get another, and I might make profit on it this time. So let's see. New PRs are coming out. EVTV is getting a nasty pump. What is this about? I'm gonna try to get a position on this one. Where do I try to get in it before 74 is the question. If it gets to 74, I am slamming this thing. I'm already in some shares, but if it gets to, like I was saying, 74, I'm going to add some more. And then 3,000 shares. But again, I'd like to see it get a little higher, and then I'm going to add quite a bit more. Here we go. Kind of wanted to keep pushing, even though I'm already in it. I got a pretty good entry around 69. But if it gets up here to like 74, 75, I'll slam it even harder. And then if it gets to 80, even harder. So I need to see why this one pops so much. Receives 100 million worth of government purchase orders, advances 200 million regional pipeline and scalable US AI infrastructure expansion. That news actually sounds decent, I guess. Especially with everything that's going on. Let's see. BDSX, I'm still in those 400 shares. Luck we might be getting some money rotation here. Honestly, might cover some. So cover some on BDSX, and then I'll let the rest fall if they do keep falling. EVTV in the money as well. I don't think the news is that bad though, so I might look to take profit, a little profit here. Oh yeah. Wow. Nice flush. I'm trimming 60 in the low 60s. Magnus, mine, this is the 200 SMA, not the EMA. Yeah, the yellow dotted line or whatever this is called is the SMA, and then the EMA is the blue dotted line on my chart, the daily. But yeah, both these have been clean plays, holding runners in both. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another little push here for EVTV because I don't think the news is that bad. But I already trimmed 2/3 of my position with EVTV. A little disappointed it didn't get up to 74.80 because I was really going to slam it if it got up there. But because basically it was a retest from a few days ago, but it didn't make it up there. Watching NCEL. What is BDSX doing? Let's go. So trying to create a trend here. Let's see. I don't think so, but tempted to take profits again. Let's see if it breaks through this little miniature trend. Yeah, EVTV pushing back up. I'm not too surprised by that because I keep saying it. I think the news is actually pretty decent for a 67-cent stock. And it's not about what price to trade on, but most tickers trading at this aren't really getting a binding 107 million government contract. But again, quick read on the news. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's that bad of news. So I'm not going to play the retest here. I want to see if it pushes a little bit higher, and then I'll play it. And sorry, guys, my voice sounds. I went to the Bills Jacksonville game last night, and or yet during the day, I might have screamed a little too much. NCEL, y'all keep mentioning that one. NCEL. Too late to it now. So see, this is why I didn't play the retest. See how it broke above it? So I'm gonna see if it pushes a little bit more. My next entries, I think, are at 72, 73, 74, something like that. Oh, but nasty flush though. Yeah, I wanted to see if it would push a little bit higher. And I got a lot of orders waiting at 74. I really might, I'm gonna kind of delete that. I guess the real low retest is 80 cents, so I might move up some of my entries a little higher. So I added a couple thousand shares at 78 cents or 79 cents, and then, yeah, 78 cents, 79 cents, and then 81 cents. And if it gets to 81 cents, I want it to be a quick wick. If it holds, my thesis is wrong. It's going to break it. So if it's like holds 80, the 5-minute candle closes above it, I'm probably going to stop out. And it's still pushing new highs. So again, most of my entries are closer to 80 cents now. Moon tweeting about EVTV. Good to know, CJ. Still holding BDSX, and we are going down. We should have held more, but I'll take it. Money rotation for the win. Securing some here below 7. So if EVTV reaches the resistance at about 80 cents, how big percent of stocks reject the same area as last time? We played it 4 or 5 days ago. I can tell you the exact percent. I haven't back tested um, this in a really long time, and I don't even know if I've ever back tested previous day high. How many days ago was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 days ago, previous day high. I haven't really back tested it, so I can't answer that confidently. But most, especially in a soft market like well, last week I don't know what to describe it as. Friday was super soft, but then Thursday was a little rowdy, so I don't really know what kind of market we're in. But Yeah, I can't answer that confidently. What percentage? Yeah, yeah, J Money. I would say that too. Let's roll with 80. Yeah, so the reason I like these retests is because you know where you're wrong. These are beautiful risk to reward plays. Because look how much this is up. 48 cents. Like it went from 48 cents to now we're at 74 cents. So I like to like place orders like 78, 79, then maybe like 81 just in case it wicks up quickly. But you know when you're wrong. So if a 5 minute candle closes above 80 and it holds and starts pushing, that's a sign that this retest is invalidated. Like it's not, there's a good chance that it's going to keep pushing and breaking new highs. Where what's probably going to happen is if it gets to 80, it's probably going to dance around this level, or it might be a quick, my favorite is a quick move up and then immediately fail. And once it starts acknowledging that level, you know that there's a chance it's going to reject. What I don't like is whenever it doesn't even acknowledge it. Like we see a candle and then it closes at like 84 and then the next candle opens above it. You know what I mean? So it's just like I got to get out of that one. Maybe re-enter at a dollar or another level I see. But right now, I do have one entry at 74 cents that got filled. And the reason I did that is because that's why I had that area marked. We have that little wick down right here. But if it breaks past 80 cents and 74 cents, there's a good chance it's going to go to a dollar, 97 cents, a dollar to a dollar 10. So um, that's why I'm not adding too heavy right here because I want to add most of my size at 80 cents. But I did enter at 74. EVTV seems a bit grindy at the moment. Uh, I wouldn't, well, I guess maybe, but it doesn't feel like it's more just like it's pushing, trying to find where its high is right now. But yeah, a little grindy. Morning, morning. If it breaks, you cut. If it holds, you call the Lambo dealership. Let's go. But again, guys, sorry for my voice. It hurts to even talk. I screamed too much yesterday. Went to the Jags game. It was super fun. No, you haven't missed too much. It was more fun because my team won. So, but yeah, I do like this 74 level. That's why I entered here. But again, most of my size is still waiting at 80 cents or closer to 80 cents. So I like 74 cents on the daily because of this wick. But what I really like is the 80 cents level because this is a high from a few days ago. So government contract, 100 million. It seems decent. Um, Seemed like decent news for a ticker that was trading for 48 cents. Most of them are not getting $100 million contracts from the government. Yeah, no, all these wild card games were close. Think like that. Yeah, there's a lot of games that were decided by 3 points. Yeah, we were blessed with some good tickets. We got front row behind the Bills. So I got to see Josh Allen go into the tent like 4 times, holding my breath every time. But he would like pop out quick, so it all worked out. Let's see if we get a flush here. Again, I want to add more size here, but I don't want to be in too heavy just in case we get to that 80 cent. Because this is a level I marked off a few days ago as well. And actually, it did honor it. It never really could strongly close above that level. So this 74 level is still relevant because even though, and we're fading, even though it did technically break above it and I've made that 80 cents the new level, like it could not hold above it. Look, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, like it would candle would technically close above it, but look at all these long wicks on it. So I think it's a pretty strong level. But again, decent news. So anytime there's decent news, it's kind of you know, got to see how it plays out. 4 million float. I've seen 3.7 and 4 million, so or maybe BDSX was a 3.7, but I'm seeing 4.5 million right now. But BDSX, beautiful money rotation play off the 200, so it's kind of the play of the morning so far. And I'm in Jacksonville right now too, so I'm not in my home setup. So not ideal, but it'd be all right. I got to get a better travel setup. You trade from your phone, you're always with a travel setup. Let me word that differently. Live streaming travel setup, yeah. NCEL's popping again. Oh, maybe that was a late Discord notification. That was a nasty flush on NCEL. Y'all were yelling it at me and I was ignoring it. Nice job if y'all caught that one. Might regret this, but I'm about to add a little more right here and just have a tight stop with these. Because I have a feeling it might fail here. Could be wrong, but I added a couple thousand more shares, 74 cents. Then I had, so I'm in 4,000 shares right now, and I think I have somewhere between 5,000 up here waiting, between 78, 79, and 81. But I don't like how it's holding on to its gains. But again, this we haven't been trading it that long, so I like that it's respecting this level. I like that the 5 minute wicks are getting smaller, smaller, smaller. But again, there's a lot to. Here we go. It's pushing now, so it might. It's. I think it's about to go to 80 cents. So let's see what happens here. we go in 10K position this morning. It might be more than that before it's over with because I need to get my average up now because I thought it might fail here exactly at 74 cents. Well, that was the plan, DHK. So typically what I should have done is just stayed in my share size right here, but I thought it was going to fail. So typically I do, but I'm already in 4,000 shares. So I am going a little bit heavier up here, 5,000 shares, but it's not drastically bigger. But typically, yeah, I like to add my the positions where I fill it out a little bit smaller, and then my line in the sand where if it breaks, I usually add like 2x the size, 3x the size to try to get my average up. But when I do that, I have to be super strict with my stop. So this is no negotiating up here if it gets 81, 82. If I add much heavier here, that's where I got to draw the line. And if I'm wrong there, I got to get out. So yeah, technically it is a little bit bigger, but I like for it to be a little bit more drastic, not 4,000 to 5,000. I like for it to be like 2,000 to 4,000 or something like that. But still not too concerned. Just letting this one play out. This we got to, I'm a front side trader, so I guess the top wrong often. That's part of it. So but still not too concerned. Unless we break 80 cents, then I will be. The 200 daily SMAs at 89 cents. I'm not seeing it on my chart, Alex. Mine's not up. Mine's at 180. Yeah, no, mine's at 180. Yeah, 179, something like that. So now that we're back in like the 74-cent range, I'm going to just get my size down a little bit more manageable just in case we do get that push. But not much because I still want some size now just in case it fails. But so now I didn't intentionally lie to y'all, but I was already in 6,000 shares, so now I'm at 4,000. I added some more at some point. So I must have was already in 4,000, then I added 2,000. But regardless, I'm at 4,000 now, and I still have 5,000 waiting right here. Average is not that great though. So I don't have like a two-in max because anytime around a level, like I will casually add to it. But yeah, so if there's a strong level like 80 cents, like we're playing a retest, what I'll do is, get my little starter positions before, because sometimes they fail before they get there. Or for example, here, there's a level before the big level. So I'll add my little starter size here. But what happens is I'm front side and I get in a little early sometimes. And that's why my starter positions are, by my definition, they're a little smaller. But whenever it gets to that level that I'm trying to play, my biggest level, I might scale in two or three times at this level. It might not just be one entry. Like, for example, I have an entry at 78, 79, and 81. So that's where I go heavier on my final ad. Because then if I'm wrong here, I just cut the position. So yeah, smaller size if it's like a filler position, but if I really think it's going to fail at a level. I don't mind going heavier there because if I'm wrong, I might only risk 1 or 2 cents. So I just cut it really quick. But if I'm right and then it drops 10 cents, it's a good, risk to reward. So that's kind of my mindset, how how I play these. Yeah, but that's a good way to put it, 1 unit. And then, again, this isn't the best example because I went a little bit too heavy with my initial, but it's working out now. I'm in the money. Um, but I'm gonna see if it fades a little bit more. But I don't think this is gonna be that clean of a fader though, because again, like I said from the beginning, I think the news is decent on this one. So, but yeah, typically a small size entry, and then my final line in the sand is either 2x or 3x that initial entry. But if I'm wrong, I got to get out super quick because I'm now very heavy. And the reason why I do it is because we might see it with this place. Sometimes I never get that feel. And this is more of a personality trait I probably need to dial in, but I'll want to get into these positions. And sometimes I'll want to get into them before it gets to that level. One, maybe not patient enough as I need to be, but two, a lot of times they fail before they get to that level. And I've seen so many like flush and like I missed the move because I was waiting for that little perfect entry. And again, that might be your strategy, and that's not a bad strategy either because you're gonna have a higher win weight, a higher win rate that way if you wait for that perfect entry. But I'm more of like a quantity trader. Like I want to find a lot of solid setups and trade them instead of just trying to wait and find that one A plus setup, and I might sit on my hands for a couple days. So there's two different ways to look at it, but I like consistent daily gains. Y'all know in the Discord, I usually, can secure about 2K a day. That's about my average, 2 to sometimes 3K. So in order to do that, I do take a lot of, B trades instead of just waiting for the perfect A plus trade. But again, there's nothing wrong with waiting for that perfect A plus trade, but that's just not how I trade. Yes, you got it. That's exactly how I do it. So give my trade a second chance on the strong level, and if it fails, I cut. Yep. That's kind of the line in the sand. And it works because even though I'm heavy, I'm only risking 1, 2, 3 cents. So even if I'm wrong, like it's not that bad of a hit. 1, 2, 3 cents for the new ads. But again, there's a lot that goes into that. You want both the levels to be relatively close to each other too. This is a good example because like this one's only 5 cents apart. Where if the next level was $1, I would cut and then re-add up there. If there was a 25-cent gap on a ticker trading at this price, that's 25% higher. So, there's a lot that goes into it. I might trim here just in case it bounces at VWAP. Another chance to get my size down a little bit if it does want to push. So went ahead and trimmed, and the 719, 0.719 is where I got out. So didn't make much on it, but just got my size down. BDSX has been the best play of the day, though, the money rotation. But I still think there's a chance this one could give back because based on historically, oh, how did it give back that day? So it pushed. Interesting. Look how this one played out. So it had a strong push pre-market, then it ripped at market open, couldn't sustain the high, and then ended up diving. So I wonder if we see a similar move where it starts giving back here soon. It's already holding up better than it did last time it popped. Yeah, J Money. I know you do, bro. I used to average up a little, a lot more blindly, but really dialing in when I average up has been a game changer for me. Game changer, completely. My win rate has dove. Like, I think December it was the lowest it's ever been. 2024, I was a 90% win rate trader like the entire year. And then like last month was one of my better months. I had like a 69% win rate, but I love it because I was just like cutting them. Like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Get out. And then this past week, I kind of broke that a little bit with that Chinese ticker SXTC. I kept playing it, kept playing it, kept playing it. And then for y'all that's not in the Discord, last week I had my biggest loss in like 5 months. It was only 5K, but I also had my biggest win in like 5 months. It was 8K. So last week, because I wanted to scale, I wanted to size up this year, or at least January. But I'm already sizing back down. I like where I was trading last year, and I'm just going to stick with it. The bigger size, I wouldn't say I'm not ready for it, but I just got too many distractions with my W-2 and other things that's going on. So maybe when I start trading full time, I'll work on sizing up again, but I don't like the mental roller coaster. I notice my emotions come into play. I'm going to trim a little bit more here. I notice my emotions come into play a lot more when I'm heavy. So I'm completely out. Got out at, I'm getting some pretty good fills on these. 0.701, basically 70 cents even. So I'm out of it. And this is why I get in early. See, I already called another move. Um, and I wouldn't even say this is early. That was a level that these tickers have been acknowledging. You know what I mean? These little random wick downs like this. So it was a level, but I did get in a little early to the strong level. So now, if it bounces back, I might not add at 74, 75 cents. I might wait for it to get to 80 this next time. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? I'm, it's not the end of the world. And I might miss a flush here too at 734. Well, I guess it's after the 730 PRs, so there might not be, or maybe money rotation calls this move. I don't know. Is anything else running, guys? But this was a nasty money rotation, BDSX. And the reason why I keep bringing this one up is because when things get super spicy again, when it gets hot, money rotation plays is where I'm going to start focusing a lot more attention on, where money rotates from one ticker to the next instead of chasing the shiny new ticker. Do you have a price range you prefer? Yeah, it's I mean, I trade anything from like 50 cents to $15, but my favorite range is like the probably $1 to $5 range. I don't mind these 50 cent to $1 tickers, but the fees are a little higher on these with TradeZero, where $1 to $5 is commission free, or $1 to whatever is commission free, but anything under $1. The reason why I don't like 10 to 15 as much is because if the float's too small on these 10 to $15 tickers, you'll see them like skip numbers, and I don't like that at all. Like, you'll get in at 11, then you'll blink and it's at 13, $14, so I don't love that. I really like the dollar to $5 range. It's my favorite. Yeah, J money, it's probably not a bad strategy. So here's the retest. I'm gonna ignore it. I might regret it, or maybe I'd play it small. You know what? I'm not in it. but I'm gonna set an order up for 76 cents. So I'm not gonna get in, I'm gonna make it push a little bit, but if it gets back to 76 cents, I'll add small size because I think it's about to fail here. It is. So very small. I got 1,000 share, 2,000 at 76 cents and 1,000 at 75 cents. So playing it a little bit smaller this time. But I missed this initial test. So I might miss this flush here, but again, I'm okay with that. STKI. Oh, L. STKL. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but right now it's trading a little sketchy. It's not super liquid. Float 110 million, market cap 430. It's a little bit higher than I like the market cap more around. I prefer it under 100, but we'll play up to 200. So, but I'm probably gonna sit out on that one. Appreciate the heads up though. Any more tickers y'all see, let me know. Have you looked at PASW? I have not. I've just been looking at the new pops of the day. Wow, this one flushed for 90 cents. Like you think about like playing it today or just looking at what it did? Thinking about playing it. Yeah, that's not really my style. I don't, one, it's under 50 cents and I can't trade it. And two, looking at the daily, yeah, I'm kind of against the trend trader, you know, the thing that everybody talks crap about. But yeah, there might be a move here. But again, I don't trade these like that. I don't, not my go-to. LYRA. Yeah, for these pre-market sessions, I'm mostly looking for like new pops. I see what you mean though. It is, this is a sketchy, like look at these candles. It's only, but yeah, it is pushing up a little bit. But yeah, for these pre-market plays, I'm mostly looking for new pops on the day. I will trade multi-day or hour or after hours the previous day if it's still holding its gains. But I really like the fresh new PRs. But yeah, BDSX. I hope we get another play like this one. Ended up catching it a couple times off the 200. Look at this. Like, look at these wicks. It never could close above the 200. I will admit though, this move made me a little nervous though when it pushed to 820, but it was just like a split second and it fell back down. But clean fade at 7 o'clock. Let's see if I get my EVTV feel here. Haven't yet. I might not because it's at 75 cents even. Probably should have had a little small one at 74 cents, but again, I'll let it come to me this time, I guess. If it was like 7:58, 7:57, and we're about to get 8 o'clock news, I might force a entry here. Banking on money rotation, especially on a Monday, especially at 8 o'clock, because that's when most PRs come out, Monday at 8 o'clock or Tuesday at 8 o'clock. But since it's still a good 17 minutes out, I'll wait. Interesting. Thanks for sharing. For LYRA. Let's see if I get my feel here. Got it. So back in 2000 shares, or 3,000, had 1,000 at 75, 2,000 at 76. So then I have my other 5K waiting up here if it wants to make a strong move to 80. Probably should have had it higher though. 77, I probably should have added some. If it gets back to 77, I'm probably going to add some. So 1,000 waiting at 77 cents if it gets there. So that'll get me to 4,000, and then I'll have about, like I said, about 5,000 shares waiting between 78 and 81 cents. Multiple entries. I got a commission free or entry free. What I mean, I don't think I'm not charged based on the how many times I enter and exit the trade. So that's why I have them at 78, 79, 80, 81. But yeah, I still think this one has a good chance of failing here, but be aware if this is one of the ones that you want to hold into market open though. Just because rem remember, oops, what that level? 74. Let me move it back up there. Anyways, look what it did last time at market open. That was a crazy move. It like shot up. So definitely we'll be closing this one before market open. And just because it did it before doesn't mean it'll do it again, but I've been paying a little bit more attention to the historic charts, and I think it is definitely helpful. They don't always repeat the same pattern, but you'd be surprised how often it's close to the same pattern. This is kind of boring to be honest. So I'll be happy when 8 o'clock comes. Maybe we'll get some more plays. Maybe we'll get some money rotation away from this play. I think it's about to drop below 75. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if it keeps going down. Be curious to see what it does on the 9 right here. It could bounce off the 9, and that's whenever it approaches 80. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to get out at VWAP, though. Because, again, I'm not expecting this one to be a super clean fader. I wonder if I should trim some here at 74, to be honest. I'm not going to make much, but I have a feeling it's going to bounce off that 9. All right, I'm getting out some at 73 cents. Just get my size down. Even though I'm not that big, but I just have a feeling it might bounce here. And the purple's the 9. So as of right now, we are getting a little bounce off the 9. Let's see if it pushes to 80 here. Kind of a cold day screener slow. Yeah, again, I didn't know really what to expect coming into this week because midweek last week I thought it was heating up a little bit, but Friday was dead because I do the end of day Friday fades in Discord, and man, there wasn't much action. JAGX. I have traded that trash company so many times. Might be a decent little VWAP retest, but I'm probably not going to play it there. I'll probably wait for it to test highs. But it looks like it's trying to flush off of it. I'll keep my eye on it. Yeah, without money rotation, the pops hang around a bit. Yeah, that's why I like when there's a lot of PR. Again, so this is, and I've said this before, so sorry if y'all have heard it 1,000 times, but I trade better in the slower markets just because they don't like, rip you, like run against you as hard. But the benefit of the hotter pre-market is you get a lot more of that money rotation. And in the past, I paid way too much attention to the new shiny ticker where next time it gets hot, I'm gonna try to pay more attention to money rotation, like where's the money leaving? Because there's a lot more opportunity whenever it's pre-market gets hot and there's a lot of tickers running and it's wild. You'll see like, let's see the top two tickers or top three tickers. You'll see one just make a strong green candle and then the other one will make a strong red candle. So it's usually the one that's the oldest, the one that people are ready to move on from. So something to pay attention to whenever it warms up. It's not all about the one that's pumping right then. A lot of times it's the one that people are closing out and moving on to the next one. What's Jag doing? Hanging out above VWAP. But yeah, I'll be interested in this play if it pushes to maybe like 138, 144. LYRA. It's falling back down. Good call on that one. Do we see 80 here? I would not be surprised. But yeah, this isn't my favorite kind of ticker. I mean, it's just taking too long to play out, but beggars can't be choosers right now. There's not a lot to trade right now. What was that one that you said? Let's see if I can find it. What did STKL end up doing? That one was a little bit bigger than I like. Pushed a little bit. Now let's give him some back. So we're about 5 minutes away from 8 o'clock. I'm expecting some decent PRs to come out since it's Monday. So it would be good time for it to push to 80 cents around 8 o'clock. Are you more of a high accuracy trader than a high risk reward trader? Um, no, I think I used to be more of a high accuracy trader, but it was like a false accuracy. Like when I traded 90%, the reason why I had a 90% win rate was just because I wouldn't stop out of them. Because these small caps, when they pump, majority of the time they still come back to reality. The game is just not getting blown up before that happens. So um, now I would say my style is like trying to find stronger levels, and then if my thesis is wrong, cut it. Because I used to like, like I was saying, I just keep averaging up, and then eventually they would come down. But I would get myself in some crazy predicaments doing that though. So I created the Bear of Wall Street in June of 2024, and from June 2024 to basically December, ended up pulling in 200 over 200K with that strategy, just holding and just praying. But I had a 76K blow up. I had like 325K blow ups. You know what I mean? So it's like it works. It actually works pretty well. but you take some massive losses. So now it's a little bit different. I don't do that. I find my strong levels, and then if I'm in, if it breaks it and holds, I either move on to the next ticker or I find another better spot to enter. That's why my win rate has went down substantially. Is because again, I don't force it to be right anymore. Like if I'm wrong, I just get out because I don't like being down on positions a lot. You know what I mean? Like I used to. I used to not mind it. It's just a different strategy. But my P&L has been so much more predictable lately. It's just like almost a straight little grind up where it used to be very dramatic. Because I used to trade a little bit bigger size, not that much bigger, but a little bit. All right, we're pushing back up to 77 cents. I had a order waiting there, so I'm back in 2,000 shares. Now we're at 79. I'm back in 5,000 shares. So this is that push we were talking about. So let's see if this level holds. And let's see if my 81 gets filled here. I like that 8 o'clock's only a couple minutes away. Maybe we'll get some attention stolen from it. Isn't 89 cents a 200 daily MA? That's what I see on fingers. I don't know. I don't see that. My 200s are up here like 180 at $3 or something. The EMA and the SMA. So I don't like that it's already above that level. So let's see if it holds. If it holds here, guys, I'm gonna probably have to cut though because I'm in 7,000 shares now. So let's see what happens. 8 o'clock is 2 minutes away. It cannot come soon enough. Mm. I wanted to stop pushing. I don't want to bail just yet because 8 o'clock news money rotation is right around the corner. So holding my breath. Let's see if we get a fill here. Maybe something else will start pushing. But still feeling okay with this one. Let's see what the 5 minute closes here in the next 14 seconds. I'd like for it to fall back under 80 cents, but let's see what happens. But again, like I was saying, this news seems decent though. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does break, but again, I think there's a chance it drops here. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Let's see if something else starts moving, steal some attention away. So we're back into 70 cents. Let me tell you, I can't stay on the live, but I can listen to it, and you could make money just by making audio. Oh, but you're in it though. EVTV. Cool. Yeah, I say medium confidence on this one, far from high confidence, because the good news is the kicker. $100 million contract with the government isn't like earth-shattering news, but it's not bad for a ticker trading at 50 cents with a market cap of 3 million. Okay. I might get some of my size down here as it falls, just because it proves it already can hold over 80, but just knock my size down just a tiny bit, but I'm still in 6,000 shares. Let's see if it flushes, but oh, don't do it to us. It's pushing, guys. That's not a good sign. I'm about to get out. I'm about to get out. I got to get out. So I'm out of it. I'm kind of tempted to add on this freaking candle, this overextended candle. See, this is why you got to respect that level. Thank God I got out, though. Dang, didn't play out how I wanted it to. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. It is decent news on it. And it's binding too. So it's not like a BS non-binding contract. Kind of want to add here at 89 cents back in. I stopped out pretty quick, but still took a little loss on it. Yeah, that was a very strong candle. Probably a lot of shorts stopping out, sent it up too. This candle's so extended. I'm about to add my full size right here back at 90. Stop out if it gets over 92 cents. I haven't entered it yet, but I'm thinking about it. Let's see what this candle does. All right, I'm at it. Back in 8,000 shares, 90 cents. If it breaks 90, oh, shoot. I'm gonna stop out again. Then re-add at 97 to a dollar. Now this one's a beast. All right. I'm being so hard-headed with this one, but I'm thinking about getting back in one more time. And because I want to catch that flush back down. It's going to have a hard time believing it's all come back to reality before it makes its next move up. So I'm in it one more time, 90 cents. I'll have all kind of fees with this one since it's under a dollar. But back in my 8,000 shares, 90 cents. Let's see what happens.
OSRH.
Good. Something else is moving. So that makes me feel a little better. OSRH at a dollar. Oh, and the 200. Let's go. I got to get a position on this one. And another one under a dollar, though. All right, I'm in at 90 cents. Oh, that's a terrible entry. Well, small entry. Dang, I thought, well, that was a good entry. I entered, well, it's falling now, but that was a terrible entry. I thought the 200 was at 90. It was at 96 cents. But it was only 2,000 shares. So I'm gonna add a couple more thousand if it gets to 96, and then if it gets to a dollar, I'll add a couple thousand more. Now I need to look up the news, and the float on this one's decent. It's 11 million, so I'm not too concerned. But if it gets back to like 96 cents, I'm gonna add a couple thousand more. What is BDSX doing? Or EVTV? Dang, this thing hasn't flushed either with something else moving. That's not a good sign. So I got 2,000 more shares added at 96 cents just then. And if this holds over a dollar, I'll probably stop out of this one. What is the news on this one? And my last fill's at 99 cents, and it just got filled. Receives binding term sheet from BCM Europe for global exclusive license. Jesus Christ. Trading's not going. Monday, rough Monday. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it holds over a dollar and holds. I'm not gonna stop out unless it gets over a dollar and holds. My average now isn't that bad though. It's basically 96 cents because I got the 90 fill, the 96 fill, and the 99 fill. But 99 is my last entry, so EVTV's falling a little bit. Let's see if I get my money back with this one. So I'm in the money with OSRH, not much, but I want to see if it falls a little bit. 50% of upfront payments and digital assets for OSRH. I don't know if that's bullish or bearish. I don't think it's that great. So I'm gonna trim some here now that we're at 90 cents. Yeah, I see y'all keep mentioning that Moon is talking about this one. So lately his pumps have been trash, but this one might not be a bad one, EVTV. But the good thing about Moon pumps is they they will run sometimes, but all of his whenever he says that he's out of it, which I don't keep track of, a lot of times a lot of his followers get out as well. So you can see a kind of a clean flush on it. Probably a strategy in itself. Anyways, I'm gonna add a little bit more for the ones I trimmed it. I trimmed earlier. I'll probably add back if it gets back to 99 cents, and it just did. So I'm back in my full position. And if it holds over a dollar, I'm gonna just stop out. But even this news doesn't sound that bad. So that's why I'm not going to let it play too much. EVTV still not falling. Yeah, I don't like that this one broke a new high, EVTV. But again, this move's a little extended. It's a very intense green candle. So unless it breaks a new high, I'm just going to stay in EVTV and see if we come back to reality. OSRH, neither one of these are really flushing, but I'm going to hang out in them until they give me a reason to stop out. GMPX, oh, I didn't even see that, my bad. GMPX. Not really too interested in this one. ANPA's dumping. Yeah, I'm not messing with that one though. Yeah, good. Zero money rotation for EVTV. It actually shot up at 8. And both of these are holding their gains pretty dang well, but let's see what happens. Yeah, it was all a perfectly executed trap. No, it got me a little bit, that's for sure. But let's see if OSRH. I mean, I'm technically in the money on this one, but I want to catch a solid little flush on it. It's 11 million float, so I don't. I'm more confident in OSRH flushing than EVTV at this point, to be honest. I think it made its move. It's getting stuck around the 200. It's 11 million float. Those don't, there we go. There we go. Let's see if it keeps going down. I trimmed some already, but still in 3,000 shares. So let's see if it keeps dropping. But that was a nice little dump. Money rotation doesn't apply to rigs. Well, yeah, and there's again always there's the risk of manipulation. There's a risk of pumpers like Moon Market being in these. Yeah, totally. OSRH. Let's see if we break some new lows. Trimming some here in the 88 cents, but still holding, like I was saying, a decent amount. But I think this news is decent too, though. Either one of these PRs are just like terrible. And if EVTV breaks a new high here, probably play it at 97. But I'm getting to this point where I'm just kind of over this ticker too, though. So we'll see what happens if it breaks a new high, but kind of over it. There we go. So I'm in minimal size with OSRH. I'm gonna just see if it keeps fading here. I got some runners, but already took most of my profit. My average was 96, got out most of them 88, 89. Nothing crazy, but caught a decent move, and we'll see if it keeps dropping. EVTV setting up like it wants to be the runner on the day, though. Good. Alex, I'm glad. Yeah, this one kind of surprised me. EVTV. Well, not that surprised, but a little surprised. I guess I'm more surprised about how strong that move was. I mean, that was this ticker's only it's been like grinding like 1 or 2 cents, and then when it broke, it made a really strong move. Let's see if it breaks a new high here. It does. So if you pull up the daily, we're at this 97-cent level here. So honestly, I'm starting to wonder if any of these levels are going to stop it because it's pushing so strong. I think this 97-cent level is stronger than the 74-cent level, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if it pushes to $1.10 either. So OSRH still dropping. We're at 84 cents now, or 85. Yeah, 84. Still riding out. 1,500 shares, nothing crazy, but catching a decent move on it. I might, I might cover here though. So just covered 1,000. I'll probably cover the other ones. Yeah, I'm out. So my final 1,000 shares got out at 82.8, 0.828. So let's see what old EVTV does. I agree. NG Eternal. I really struggle with knowing when to take my profit, like on a test of VWAP versus when to hold for a big flush. It is difficult, and I have not mastered that either. But again, the way I look at it is just the more trash the company is, the more trash the news is, the more like this market cap of 11 million. I like 11 million because a lot of these momentum long traders, they get excited about the nanos and the 1 million, 2 million, 11 million. Can it pump? Yeah, totally. But like 11 million, I'm not concerned with at all. So when I see like things like this, it helps my case to want to hold. But again, I still don't have it dialed in either. But I was, taking profit pretty quick with EVTV because the news was decent. But again, um, it's really hard to gauge which one's to hold and which one's not. But the earlier pops, I tend to want to hold, the 7 o'clock because they look like BDSX. You know what I mean? Look what it did, and it's still going down. But these later pops, I get more in like a scalping mode. But EVTV, this one, if it breaks $1, I'm just going to cut and probably leave it alone, if I'm being honest. It got me pretty good. Nothing crazy, but wish I would have left this one alone today. I'm just glad I didn't get caught in this candle. I stopped out pretty quick. So I got out at like 83 cents. So I didn't catch this whole move up. Thank God, or I probably would have been down a grand or so. But yeah, I got a stop limit order at 102. So if it hits 102, I'm just out and I'll be done with this ticker. And this might be the level it gives back at $1, but again, I'm in heavy, so unfortunately, that's the double-edged side of, or the negative side of going heavy at one level. I just can't let it play too much, or my losses stack up too much. So if it breaks $1, I got a stop limit at 102. OSRH covers 70. It's at 79 cents now. Oh, geez, nasty flush. Good. Well, at least I'm glad some of y'all caught that at least, because I'm sure some of y'all got ripped on AVTV. Yeah, and I think taking profit also depends on how well your day is going. Yeah, very true. And if we're in a hot market or not, because in hot markets, you'll see a lot more reclaims where you think the ticker is done, and then it just like a zombie, re-erects. I think that's the right word, right? Resurrect. Re-erects. No comment. What was the one on Friday? Yeah, I'm probably about to get stopped out here. Let's see if this dollar holds. Probably not a bad spot to add, but I'm already sized. I'm up to 10,000 shares now, so I'm not going to add anymore. Oh, AMPA. the one you were talking about? Just trading? Yeah, that was SXTC. Yeah, that was, and this is a perfect example of why I used to make more money. A perfect example. I don't like trading like that anymore, but what I would have done is not sold. So I would have averaged up into this move, been down probably 10K, and then I wouldn't have sold, and then it would eventually flush, and I probably would have got out here. Or let's say I was even more hard-headed, kept averaging up here, down 10K, and then eventually gives it all back, and now it's trading for 15 cents because it's a Chinese rigger. So I'm not recommending anybody trade that way to average up and just pray, but it's hard to deny I used to make more money doing that because all these tickers come back to reality usually, except for the occasional one that'll like, blow you up. But instead, I have a little bit better risk management now and I have a daily max loss of 5K. So when I hit that, I got out. But I like trading this way better. It's more sustainable. Jag is pushing back up now. And did you see just trading, he made $1,000 the next day? I was like, oh my God, bro, you got to do that 300 times, not counting fees, to get back to where you were. So I might get an entry here on JAGX. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting in this one. It's kind of what I was waiting for. A little bit better of a retest like this. So I'm in it. 139. Then my next entry will be 142. If it breaks and holds that, then I'm gonna get out. I'm going a little bit heavier with this retest since EVTV got me a little bit, and I think this is a good risk to reward. So I'm in a couple thousand shares already, and then I'll add some more at $1.42. EVTV, well, at least I haven't stopped out yet. Maybe it was trying to get to $1. Let's see. Any type of flush, I'm probably going to just get out, even if I'm not profitable. If it gets down to the 9 where it was kind of consolidating right here, I'm going to get out a majority of my position. That'll be a loss, but it'll be a lot smaller loss than I'm at right now. So, but again, stops at 102, stop limit order. JAGX, we're seeing a red candle here. Let's see if we get a flush back to the 9 or VWAP. And this is not one I'm going to hold. This is one I'm going to get out pretty quickly. I just got out of some at $1.33. And then I want to hold the rest, see if we get back to VWAP or the 9. Yeah, J Money, I think you're right. If JAGX, what is its float now? It has a history of doing reverse splits and all that crap too. 4.5 million float is what I'm seeing. Has it had a recent reverse split? Because they've been hot. Tickers that's done like recent reverse splits. It has a pretty strong level here too at like 157. and it's popped to 150 a few times and failed. I stopped out of EVTV. It's a bigger loss than I'd like, but it is what it is. Ooh, OSRH made its next move down. Added back to my JAGX position. Are you still holding OSRH? No, I closed it out. I closed it at the 9. I get nervous at the 9 because it likes to bounce, and it did, but it was a weak bounce. No, I closed it before the 9. I think I got out at like 82 cents, actually. JAGX dropping a little bit here. Yeah, EVTV got me pretty good. Dang. But I'm glad I got out of EVTV. Now I'm wondering, do I add here at $1.10? I'm probably gonna leave it alone. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. Even though I think that's a decent level, but whatever. Why is JGX even moving? Did it have a new PR? No. Trim a little here. Oh, it did go to 110. So tempted to add back in this thing and then just stop out. But now I'm gonna have not even that good of an entry. Bro, if this thing flushes off 110, I'm gonna cry. OM. Oh, what's up with this one? 82 million market cap, 17 million float. They released their unaudited fourth quarter in 2025 results. I'm about to miss this flush. I'm hard headed. I got back in EVTV, but I'm gonna stop out if it gets to 112. And then this is the last time I'm playing it. And I'm gonna average up to $1.10 if it pushes back up there. But I do like seeing this red candle. We haven't seen very many red candles on these moves, so maybe this is where it's deciding to fail. But got me a couple thousand shares, and then if it pushes back up to 110, I'm gonna average back up on them. But again, being a little hard-headed with this one, but I think maybe this is where it was trying to go. And if I'm wrong, I'll just stop out quick. Got a little more right here, 107. A little more, 108. And then I'm just setting a stop limit at 112. See if I get my money back. JAGX at $1.29. So that was a pretty clean little flush. I'm probably going to get out here at the 9. And I'm out. So I'm back in my full size 10,000 shares EVTV. Stop 112. Revenge trading it a little bit based on the sizing, but I got a quick stop on it. So but this is where I usually wrap up. So I'll hang out a little bit more, see if we get a fail on EVTV, but at least a few of them went my way. I just picked the wrong one to go heavy on. OSRH would have been a better one to go heavy on. JAGX would have been a better one to go heavy on. So this is where my discretionary sizing did not work in my favor today, but that's all good. Let's see what happens. PR 12 Lewis, just looking at the PR again, is it that EVTV also merging with AZIO at 3? Yeah, I don't know the details, but yeah, I think that was the move that popped a few days ago. The thing I do like about EVTV, I need to look in the Discord a little bit at AskEdgar, is they have no cash and they have some open offerings. So the company's going to be merging with AZIO. AI is getting a nice size contract and supposed to get a deposit of 30% in the coming week, which is like 30 million. That said, keep in mind, and I'm in the money with it now, not much, but I'm gonna let it ride some. Uh, but keep in mind, EVTV is also going to be issuing at least 160 million shares to acquire AZIO. So you can't necessarily compare the contract value to EVTV to its current revenue market cap. either way, it's a nice headline. As mentioned before, they will most definitely convert their debt into shares prior to the maturity. Last gap was a strong early move, then faded later in the afternoon. We saw this here. I might hold this one, to be honest, just see how it plays out a little bit. I think that's the level it must have been trying to get to. Not saying it can't hit the 9 and break a new high, but I got a pretty tight stop at 112. I want to see if it gives back a little here. And they have an active baby shelf, 10 plus million still available under the SEPA. They have $78,000 in cash. So they have an active shelf plus SEPA. I don't even know how to say that. I'm not super familiar with those. And imminent low price convertible maturities combined with a long history of share issuance creates a high probability of continued near-term dilution. So up a couple hundred on it, but I'm being hard-headed. Like I said, I need more than a couple hundred. So I want to see if it breaks down here. It tries to get back to VWAP. Up 405 bucks, but I want more. I might regret that, but I want to see if it drops to VWAP. Yeah, I probably should just, maybe I trim a little here. OM pretty volatile. I haven't even been watching it. What's OM doing? It's already back up. Probably not going to mess with this one. Not trimming much, but I'm going to trim a couple thousand shares here at 99 cents. But I want to catch a nastier flush on it. But might be a little too hopeful because it's been respecting the 9. And hopefully we'll get some 9 o'clock distractions from EVTV now that it's finally, I don't know how to word it, but some significant red candles on it. At least it's kind of like retraced back to reality. It's at the 9. Not saying it can't keep moving, but I would love to see, like, I wish right now it was 9 o'clock. It's barely is kind of dancing on the 9. Because if it breaks below $1, I think it could keep flushing. But again, I might bounce before 9 o'clock. I have a stop limit at 112. I'm basically going to hold it and see if I can catch a flush back to about 88 cents, closer to VWAP. Because I'm a little red on the session, unfortunately, due to EVTV. Again, my sizing was jacked up today. I hit BDSX, JAGX, and OSRH, but I was sized a little too heavy on EVTV, so I'm down, only down 244 on this day, but again, I let this one, actually, if I close right now, I'm actually like green $100, but I'm going to roll the dice a little bit and see if we break down a little bit more. But realize wise, I'm red on the day, unfortunately. A little too heavy on EVTV. What's OM doing? Still hanging out? Let me look up OM now. 17 million float. How did their financials look? Let me dig in. Now we're pushing, about to be at highs. Net cash used in operation improved from 116 million to below 50 million. Oh, a 5% increase. That's not that significant. I might try to get a shot here, guys. I might try to, and then just stop out if it makes a new high. Since we're close to the high, it's almost worth it, so. I'm in it. 1,000 shares, stopping out over 9. Or stopping out over 6. Tight stop. No questions asked. Gets above 6. I'm not even waiting for it to close. Well, let's see. But as of right now, I'm going to set a stop limit at 606 and try to see if I can catch a. I don't think these unaudited financials are really that great. So revenue of 28.9 million for Q4 and 119 million for full year. A 5% increase. The company said more than 1,000 care sites have insourced dialysis, performing roughly 1 million treatments per year. Year-end cash and short-term investments total 173. And I probably just stopped out. Did I stop out? No, because it's at 606. So I didn't stop out. So there's the wick. It didn't get me somehow. Still in it. So it's not holding the $6 level. So that's a good sign. But it still could. Still could. I don't know how I didn't get stopped out there. Looks like it went over 606. Oh no, it went right to it. So, but that's a good sign. A wick up and not being able to hold. We might revisit VWAP here. Let's see. What is EVTV doing? Not breaking new highs, but it's still holding its own. But my average is pretty good on OM. I'm in at 592, so I'm not stressing. I'm basically risking 606 to 60, probably 150 bucks on this to try to catch a bigger move. Oh, 99% ownership on this one? Let me look. I'm in the money now. Maybe I'll just get out here if that's true. Dang, it does say 99%. Let me get out here then. I'm up 100 bucks. I don't know if that's true or not, but y'all got me scared at this point. All right, made like 120 bucks on it. I'll take it. Yeah, I'm seeing 99% institutional ownership. Bro, if this thing cracks and flushes back to five, I'll be ready to fight y'all for y'all telling me that. Aren't you scared that the stop limit order would be skipped since it's limit and the stock skyrockets with you on it? No, not at all. Nope. Not at 11 million share float. Not at all. But you got to give it space. So yeah, if you do your stop at like 602 and then your limit at 603, yeah, you're asking for that. But I make my limit pretty loose. So if my stop is at 602, my limit's probably 620 just to make sure I get out with slippage. And I never get filled at 620. That's just my safety net. So I usually, almost every time, if I have a stop at 602, I usually get filled at like 603. Or if I have a stop at 88 cents, I get filled at 89 cents. Like if it's a very, very low float, um, that could happen. But again, I don't base decisions on outliers. Like I've seen enough data that my stop limit gets out. So, and I'm staring at the screen. So I'm not too concerned with those scenarios. But that's the key is whatever you got to have a little bit of a gap between the stop and the limit. So if you set, like I said, 602 and then your limit 603, and then it does push to 604 really quick and it doesn't come back, yeah, you're screwed. But I give mine a lot of room for slippage, and I never get a bad feel because of it. But just in case there aren't orders, very many orders between there, I still get filled. Why don't you mark it out? Because you can't mark it in pre-market. During regular session, I do mark it. EVTV, where's it at? So yeah, I stopped out at this one. Dang it. Yeah, this one got me today. So I'll end the session red today. That's all right. Yeah, EVTV's beast. It had my number today. Almost wish it didn't have all these levels up here because it kept like enticing me to see if that was the top. But it is what it is. EVTV is a grinder. I never short grinders. Then don't short it, bro. Nobody's making you. But it didn't start off as a grinder. It started off playing levels. So 9 o'clock is 4 minutes away. And I might stick around, see if there's one more play. See if we get a 9 o'clock play. But if it's not a solid setup, I might not play it because I don't do as well for the 9 o'clock plays. OM. Jesus Christ. And I was in 1,000 shares too. That would have been a pretty good little drop. That's all right. Which one do I want to watch? I don't want to watch any of these now. Yeah, I like the OM play. It was a good risk to reward because I got in at 592, only risking a little bit, but because the financials didn't look that great to me. 5% increase and it's up how much? It's not really worthy of the move, but good. This has a big gap. Well, but outside of this over here, look at this huge gap. Undercover millionaire, you never know until the third move confirms. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's like when I first played this initial pop, like I didn't it's hard to come to the conclusion it's a grinder, but it did end up grinding up, so that's why I am done with it. And it wasn't really necessarily that this was grinding. I just my sizing was a little off on this one, to be honest. I went too heavy on it. And that happens. Yeah, no, that is true. I probably should have got stopped out of this one originally, anyways. But yeah, January's been a little bit more of a roller coaster for me, a little less consistent. So I just gotta dial a few things in. But with this one, I know what I did wrong. I just entered too heavy. I was too confident in this one. So nine o'clock, 1 minute away. We'll see if there's any new plays. One more try on EVTV. No, I can't. I can't. I'm done with it. Done with it. Because this area is very congested. So if it holds this, that's not a good sign. So 9 o'clock. Let me get the PRs pulled up. See if we have anything to save my morning session. If not, I'll call it a day. Or a morning. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's go. I might not have made money trading, but I just got a nice Airbnb booking. I'll take it. Because I can't trade today. Jesus Christ, that's a big one. 9 o'clock. Any news? JAGX pushing back up. I don't like love this one. I don't know why. These are pretty. It's almost like I might play it just like I played these other ones. Get in as close to the top and then just stop out if it breaks a new high. It's breaking a new high now, so let's see if it holds. I don't think it will, so I'm gonna get in. All right, I'm in a couple thousand shares, stopping out 146. There is literally not a single 9 o'clock PR unless Stock Titans is glitching. So I set my stop at 148 because I just added another 1,000 shares, and I'm probably going to wrap up here because I can tell I'm kind of just revenge trading it a little bit because there's a strong level at $1.50. So if I stop out, well, now I'm up 100 and so bucks on it, but I want to see if it drops a little more. But there's a lot of congestion in this area, so it might push to, oh my gosh, okay, now I'm up 300 bucks on it. So I'm gonna get out real quick. All right, I'm out. Well, that helped a little bit. Nice little flush. Thanks for putting that on my radar, guys. EV still pushing. All right, well, I'm going to end it on that note. Still red on the session, not by much, less than a grand. So I mean, that's pretty easy to recover intraday if I see the right setup. So I'm gonna call it, and I will see the rest of y'all in the Discord. Yeah, this pre-market's been a little crazy, so that's why I'm just ready to wrap it up. I'll come back intraday and see if there's any good setups. But anyways, see y'all later.